What is happening, all you wonderful people out there in the cyber world? This is Keith with Profit Lifter. Today, we are going to be working on building out a new application for your Profit Lifter account or your Go High Level account. What this means is this can actually be something that we can use multiple different facets. The first, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building this as a snap-on for you so that you can load it and do whatever you'd like to do with it. For some of you guys who are in the funding world or you take loan applications, this will actually be uploaded for you so that you could use this moving forward. But today we are going to be talking about, we're going to be working on creating, I'm just going to build it. We're just going to build it. I'm going to show you, the reason that I like building it like this is because I want to show you just everything that's involved with when you get into building, different things inside of your Profit Lifter account and everything that's happening. So like I said, today we are going to be working on getting this sorry, I'm multitasking here. We're going to be working on getting this set up for you, getting it rocking and rolling so that way you've got everything that you need right there to start building applications. So give me just a second. I'm going to finish setting up our account here. Oh, what's up, James? It's been a minute since I've seen you, my friend. Glad you are here. Glad you were hanging out. Man, just so you guys know, I am planning on going live quite a bit more starting next month again, just because we've been in building mode and now we're getting out of building mode, and I'm ready to get back into actually doing all the cool stuff with you guys. What's up, Brant? Glad to see you here today. I hope you're doing awesome. Hope you're doing amazing, doing well. All right, almost there, guys. Promise. We are actually going to be starting from scratch on this. So that's part of why it's taken a little bit of time here, because we're basically just setting up a brand new account that we're going to be building all this stuff in. All right. And let's share my screen. And one quick thing I need to do here, just so I don't confuse my team and they don't get all mixed up and not know what's happening here. Snap. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Snap on. Application. Update. All right. Okay, so we're going to be building an application. Now, there's a couple different ways that this works. There's several uses for an application, and there's a couple different ways that we can build this out, that we can make this work. But we're gonna go with the solid. We're gonna go with what is the easiest route to go with all of this. So that is actually going to take place inside of. We're going to start first with our actual forms. So we're going to come over to sites. We're going to come up here to forms. We're going to start building a form here. And so let's start building some cool stuff here. All right, so if we're building a form, there's a couple things that we need to think about. We need to think about first, how do we want it? Well, let's name it. This one we're going to call funding application, because you know why. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. Now, when you're building your form, it's gonna start you off with kind of this base level. One thing to know is that, like, if it's got a star next to it, it means that it's required. So there are some of these things that we are gonna want to make required. There has also been some really pretty big changes with these forms. You notice we've got a little bit more space that we can start playing with some stuff, which I think is wonderful. I think there's a lot of cool things that we can do with this. But for now, I'm just playing around with some stuff. So the first thing that we want to think about now, one thing with your forms inside of your Profit Lifter account, there are going to be some ways that there are going to be some things that we're going to need to adjust with it. There are some ways that we can tweak this and personalize it. It also gives you the ability, you can see over here with themes, it also has some pre-built ones with backgrounds, all that fun stuff. We're going to keep this real simple though. We're going to make this so that we're going to do the single column, or what this looks like if we do the 2 columns and do 100%. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Look at this. Okay. I'll show you why I was looking for that. Okay, now this is going to be all of our personal information. Now, when you're building your forms out, one of the things that you can do is it's going to have a lot of these quick add elements in here that you can put like full name, first name, last name, date of birth, email, phone number, all that fun stuff, address, website, text, all these different options that are in here. But for right now, what we're going to do is we actually want to, let me see, is it this one? Nope, that's not it. What we're looking for, here we go. This customized section, we're going to come up here and we're going to place the text. And what we're going to be doing is anytime you're building a form, you're building any sort of anything that a customer is going to have to go through, you want to spell it out for them. You want to make it as easy for them to navigate as possible. So this one, we're going to start with, we're just going to call it personal information because this for the sake of what we're doing here, we're gonna start with building a funding application. So we know that our the first thing we want to do is we want to collect a little bit of information about the actual business owner. So that's going to be first name, last name, phone number, email address, all that fun stuff. Let's see. I do want to collect their business name as well. Let's see. It's not going to give me that option there. Let's see. And now that I'm halfway through, now that I've already started this, I'm realizing I probably should have picked something different to build it out, but that's okay. I can make this work. Now, and the reason I say that is because, like, as you can see, there are no custom fields built out in here, meaning that, like, when a customer fills this out, it's not going to collect it in there because it's already we already have this built. We already have a lot of these custom things already built out. So give me a second. I'm actually gonna drag it from over here. While I'm doing that, quick question, totally not related to anything business, just the fun stuff. How many of you guys got to go out and see Deadpool and Wolverine this weekend? I did. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun. Had a good date night with my my fiance on that, and made her sit through the movie. And she asked 1,000 questions because it's what happens. All right. Which one do I want? Which one do I want? I want this one. Okay. And so what I'm doing here is I enjoyed it, James. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it, but I'm also a comic book nerd, so that's me. Deadpool 1 and 2 are one of those movies, like on a Sunday, if I'm having a lazy day, I'll just throw it on and watch it, or have it as background noise. So it was something I've been excited for coming out for a long time. All right. So what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm actually coming in and looking up some of this information, like business name, all of this stuff that we're going to be putting in here. So we're going to add a field. We're going to make this a single line. Business name. Put that under the contact. That works for me. And we want it under a contact and not an opportunity. Now, when you're adding custom fields, you'll see after you add them, it shows up over here on the left. So now we can actually drag and drop that here. So let's just put it right down here. And we're going to make that required. The other reason that I want to start with a form like this is because once we get all of our custom fields, we get everything set up, we get everything mapped out, you can take the same information, you can actually put it on as a survey as well, if you want it to be something that makes it a little easier to for people to navigate, give you a little more design controls, things like that. It's actually a very helpful thing. All right, so we've got personal information. Next thing we want to do, let's see, we've got that at 27. Yep. So let's make sure we're matching here. We're going to put business information. Now, if you were building an application for, let's say you were hiring a salesperson. Hey, Timberlake, glad you were here today. If you were building an application, let's say you wanted to, you're going on a hiring spree and you wanted to create an application for salespeople, you'd still follow the same pattern. You would just be using it a little bit different based off what the customer or based off of the information that you want to collect. But for what we're doing right now, that we want to keep this nice and simple. We don't want to sell products. All right. So we're already collecting their business name. Let's just move this down here, actually. And we're going to put, we're going to make this one a phone number. We're going to call this business phone group. We're going to put that under contact. Save. And then we're going to just drag and drop it right here. Business phone. Awesome. Next, we got number, monetary. Nope, nope, nope. So we're going to go single, and we're going to make this our business email. And let's wait for it to load. There we go. All right, throw this under here, business email. Now, the next question I want to ask is, we're going to leave this as a single line. We're going to put time in business, because I think it's always helpful to know how long a business owner has been in business if you are looking at financing. This is a very important part of the process for getting funding, all that fun stuff. So we're going to make sure we have all that set up and we're ready to go. All right, time in business. Now the last question, the last little section here, and we're gonna make this streamlined. We're gonna make this nice and quick and easy. So the last one we're gonna do is we're gonna put. I don't know if my brain's kind of drawing a blank on the actual terminology that we want to use, but I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of, so maybe you guys can help me out here. I'm trying to think of how I would spell it out, saying that we're basically looking for the qualifiers of what a lender would be looking for. I don't know. Why is my brain not thinking about this? For right now, and if you guys think of anything, please throw it in the chat. Help me think through this. My brain just got stuck on that, so we're going to come back to that. I'm just going to put loan qualifications for right now. And what this is this going to be looking for kind of our big three, since we are working on a funding application right now. So the first one, we are going to say we're going to go with monthly gross revenue, cash. And save. Okay. Monthly gross revenue. Next, we want to find out credit. Let's ask about their credit. And for this one, we're actually going to do this one as a radio select instead of. I'm saying this, and all of a sudden I just had this brilliant idea. let me show you what I'm thinking here. So we're going to put we're going to call this owner credit score, and we'll just leave that under the contact for right now. I'll probably come in and switch that up a little bit later. So owner credit score. Now, what I was saying is, so when you're looking at this, you've got a placeholder in here which will put information. I don't know if I can see if I can zoom this in a little bit for you. Make it a little easier to see. Nope, that's not it. We'll leave it right there for now. That's a little better. All right, so when we're hanging out here, you've got a placeholder which is going to put information inside of the box, but you've also got a short label which puts it down here. Now, if I was somebody who liked making money, what I would do is I would actually put a credit monitoring link here. And so what would that look like? Get your credit score now. Get your credit score now. And what I'm going to do, ChatGPT, I'm going to have ChatGPT write out my HTML because, as you notice, inside of this box, it's actually not giving us, it's not going to give us the ability to create HTML, create a link in there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to change this into HTML. Now, if you've never used ChatGPT for creating code or HTML, it's super simple and I love it. We're just going to say, turn this text into HTML hyperlink. Hyperlink is the proper language. Link will be credit monitoring site.com. HTTPS credit monitoring site.com. And that's literally all you have to do is it comes in and just does it right there for you. And I'm not 100% sure if this is actually going to work or not. I'm just having this I'm having this crazy idea. And I'm curious. I want to see if this will actually do it because it doesn't. Dirty jerk. Okay, that was close. It was a good idea. So that actually it is just a text link. So what I would do from there. Let's come back over to our quick add. We're going to look at. I wonder if it lets us do it like this. Ah, there it is. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink this up considerably. Make sure we're at 0. We're going to shrink that way down. And then we're going to come over here, click these 3 buttons, and it's going to give us the ability here to insert our link. So now, and let's see if that worked for us. It didn't. We're going to reload real quick because sometimes when you're working on stuff, you just need to reload to make it work. In the development and design world, reloading is the equivalent of turning it off and on again, turning it back off and on again. So let's see here. Now that we've reloaded that. I'm not exactly sure why that's not working. But what I'm trying to do here, guys, is anytime that like something like this where I need the client's information. Man, this thing is not it's being buggy today. Wow. Um, so anytime like something like this where could I just link it to a button? Actually, with it being inside of the form, well, that's a great idea. But with it being inside the form, it doesn't give us the same builder options. That actually wouldn't work the way that we're thinking it would work. But that's okay because really what we want to do is let's actually just put this right under the loan qualifications here. Come on. And one day it'll work for us. But really, what we want to do is we want to make it since it doesn't have a button, we want to make it where they can click it and they can get access to that information if they need it. But let's finish filling this out because me and my team will go back and we're going to make all this. And again, it's going to be a snap-on that you guys can load and have it ready to go. So we're going to be looking for their gross monthly revenue. We're going to be looking for the owner's, let's call this personal credit score. Personal credit score. The next thing that we want to look at, what else do we need? What else do we need? We need to know if they have any collateral. So let's come in here. We're going to leave that a single. Yep. And we're going to put that under the group there. Okay. Business collateral. All right, so we've got our 3 C's. We've got we know how long they've been in business. We know their gross revenue, so we know their income. We know their cash. We know their credit. We know their collateral. Any other ideas of what you guys would like to see, or any other thoughts of information to collect from them on this? If you think of something, let me know. Give me a shout out and let me know, and I'd be happy to throw it in there. Thinking the other thing that we may look at is like with this, if there are explanations, there are a couple places like you could put it under here under the short labels if you want to, or you can put it like up at the top where we've got like this click to get your credit score now. You can put it up there as well if you want to put instructions in there. But anytime you're doing any sort of application, anything like that, you want to keep it as simple and streamlined as possible. The easier it is for somebody to fill out and complete, the more likely that it is that they will complete it. All right, let's see. I really can't think of anything else of any other qualifiers that we want on there. But on that note, I think I am going to. I think we are going to make. You know what, Will? You are right on. You know, that is such a great, obvious answer that I did not even think of. Will Beath for the win here. Business credit score. Let's go. I love it. That's what I was looking for. And this may sound really weird, but the only reason I really cared about it, not because I don't want to know this stuff, but I like it symmetrical. Really, all it comes down to is really that. It helps me to keep in mind. All right, so now we're going to ask their first name, last name, phone number, email, business information, loan qualifiers like monthly gross revenue, business collateral, owner personal credit score, and business credit score. This we're going to change up. We are going to change this up a little bit here. What am I looking for? It's going to be business phone number. I may need to break out my little cheat sheet here. Here we go. That's not it. Ah, here we go. And what I'm looking at here, guys, just in case you're wondering, this is actually a list of all of the custom values and custom codes that are available inside of the system. And the reason that I use this is because it actually makes a ton of sense for things like this where we're automating it. We're just going to put that in there. Now you want to hyperlink, huh? Okay, I see how this works. Now you want to have fun. Actually, it makes me wonder. If I okay. Sorry, this one piece is not working is agitating me, but we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, and we'll get that ready. Okay, so next is going to text help to your phone number, consent to do that. Okay, all right. So this is phase one. This is step one. So now we have a form that we can put on a landing page. Now that we've got that, we're going to let's create a funnel, and we're going to create for blank, and we're going to call this a loan app funnel. Okay, and we're going to create a new step, and we're going to call this application. And now on this, guys, I'm going to keep this real I'm going to keep this real simple. And the reason is because, like, when you're doing a funding application or you're doing something that only like your page only has one purpose, make it that one purpose. It doesn't need to be anything outside of that. Because the more complex you try making it, it just becomes convoluted. So like what we're going to do here is we're going to come in, we're going to create a little bit of a darker background. Let's put our column in here. Okay. Now we're going to add an element, and we're going to add our form. And we're going to just put that right in there. There we go. Next thing that we forgot to change the name of the button. That's all right. We'll come back to that here in just a second. Now, the other things that you may want to do is let's put like a headline. I'm just going to say apply now. No need to make it more complex. Okay, so in the first part, we made our form. Now, when you're creating forms inside of Profit Lifter, it's going to give you two different places to determine the action that happens after the form's created. So the first one is actually inside of the form itself. We'll give you some options that you can hard code it. But I usually prefer doing it in the landing page here, where I can take this redirect action, and I'm just going to click go to next step inside of our funnel. And the reason is because now, once this application is done, it's going to redirect them based off of the information, or it's just going to redirect them from there. I'm going to show you, but while we're here, I am going to show you another little trick here. confirm. And actually, now that I put that, I'm going to rename this. We're going to put this confirm qualified. Now, the other thing that we want to be careful of is that sometimes when you're sometimes calling it an application could be like if you're working on the funding side and you call it an application, it may be better to call it like a quick qualifier, qualification, loan qualifier, something like that, because an application denotes like it's a full application, meaning that they're going to upload all their information. That's not what we're trying to do here. The whole point of this one is all about lead generation, getting out there, running ads to people who are interested in and download and not downloading, but in getting a business loan. So there's nothing to do there. We're going to create this from blank, and this is going to be something, guys, that I'm not going to spend a lot of time building this, just because I want to move on. I want to show you some other stuff in here before I run out of time. But basically, this would be congratulations. Your info was received, and I'm gonna spell this out more. But what I'm doing here. One, I want to grab this URL right here because that's what I'm looking for. Oh, it's not even saved yet. Wow. Okay. Cool. Because what's going to happen is once you have your domain connected here, it is going to, at that point, that will actually show you the domain. But what I want you to see here, we're gonna grab it from the same funnel here. Okay, so this is the trick that I wanted to show you. This is some just voodoo tomfoolery for you here, but it's really cool. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to hop back inside of our forms. Now, I told you there are two different ways that you can automate your forms. One, you can automate it from the form directly, but the other side, or you can automate it from actually inside of the, man, that thing's just not working at all. That's okay. But you can do it from the form directly, or you can do it from the landing page. I want to show you what you can do with this funding form that is just really, really handy. We're going to add conditional logic here. So what we're going to do is we're going to redirect it to a URL. And remember, I copied and pasted that URL. I'm putting this in here for the sake of just testing, just to show you how this works. But if you go, we're going to look at this and we're going to say, okay, if gross monthly revenue is, let's say, is filled, is empty, is equal to, is not equal to, contains, starts with, ends with, is empty. Okay, so this isn't actually giving us the number that we're looking for. But basically what we're just going to put, we're going to put this in here for now, because now I'm realizing we're going to have to go back and change this up a little bit, but that's all right. So what we're doing is we're going to come in here and we're going to create conditions based, redirect conditions based on the information that's put into the form, meaning that like as we're hopping in here and as this is getting rolling, or as people are using it, we're going to say, okay, so if the gross monthly revenue is equal to or greater than 10,000, and the business is not equal to or let's say, we'll just put no in there, and then we're going to put another and we're going to say owner personal credit score is not equal to 720, I think is credit lines, what they're traditionally what they're looking for. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to program this form to say if the monthly gross revenue is equal to or greater than $10,000, and they have business collateral that it equals no, and personal owner credit score is 720, then we're going to send them to this page. And you can see it right there. And so the other thing that you can do is you can actually like disqualify a lead, where you can go if the, like, let's just say if the owner's credit score is equal to, we're going to say not equal to 720. And we don't want to disqualify it that way. What we want to do is we want to set up URLs. We want to set up all the redirects here. So, and I'm not going to take the time to go through this entire algorithm. It may not seem like a lot, but with just 3 questions, there are about, I think there's like 9 different options of what will work with it. So, and let's say, but the other thing that you can do with this that I always thought would be, and shoot, I may just do this. I hired some new team members, and I want to see what they're capable of doing. But look at this. Let me show you this. If we come in here and we go, okay, if everything is equal to like if their gross monthly revenue is over 10,000 and the business collateral, and they have business collateral, and their personal credit score is over 720, we're going to send them one place. And now with all those qualifiers, this is going to be somebody who really potentially could qualify for like an SBA loan, a traditional bank loan, something like that's going to be higher dollar, that I think they could do, that I would send them to a landing page just saying, look, all of your options, you got all these cool things that you can do. Now, the other side is that, like, if my next one would be like the monthly gross revenue. If I look at this and go, okay, their monthly gross revenue is above 10,000, they can qualify for a revenue financing. Now my open URL, or the URL we're going to send them to, is going to be just about business revenue financing. Same thing. If we come in here and we go, let's say owner's personal credit score is equal to 720, and then we put it in here. And again, I'm just showing this to you for an example for right now. There is more complexity that needs to go into this, but basically you can make this where, like, you have all of these are yes, yes, yes. This would be yes, no, no. This would be yes, no, yes, no. Basically, you can create landing pages based off of their responses for this. So what that looks like over here is, instead of this being a yes qualified, you would put, let's just put three yes. That way, like, as I'm looking at it, this isn't something client's going to see. This is only something that we're going to see in the back office. But doing this makes it where we can now have landing pages set up specifically for the products that they may qualify for. So like this one, this is going to be CHL qual. So basically credit line hybrid. So at that point, again, this is the one where they like if their owner credit score is there. Now on this page, I would actually just go in and just start spelling out all of the credit line hybrid information. Like, here's what you qualify for, and like at the same time, you want to submit their application because you got their information, you know they're a good fit, you know they're pre-qualified. But then from there, what you're doing is like your landing page here. And again, remember this sake of presentation, but this landing page then would just be just about the credit line hybrid. Like, hey, congratulations, looks like you may qualify for our credit line hybrid, our credit card stacking, whatever you're calling it. And here's some information, 0% APR. So basically, you're prepping them for the loan that, or the financing that they may qualify for. And the reason I think this is so powerful is because now, instead of it just being like this generic, hey, you may qualify for financing, watch your emails. Now you're saying, hey, look, You may qualify for SBA loans, meaning you can get millions of dollars in funding. Like it gives you the opportunity to prepare them for the next step in the journey. So like our redirects, the other thing that we're going to look at for the redirect, we've got our monthly revenue, we got business collateral. So this could be this may be, and again, I messed up on these forms and these what these forms are, how these should be entered. So when it goes when it goes live, I'll have it all ready for you. But now that I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and build out all these landing pages for you. Why? Because you guys deserve it. You're rock stars. You need all this. So we're going to create all this for you. But we're going to kick them based off of, so now we've got collateral is yes. We've got if the personal credit is yes. If we've got their revenue is yes. Outside of that, I don't really care about the rest of them in here, meaning that like if like I would set this to be the other two to be no. And I may like I'll play around with it and get really technical. But the whole point here is that we want to make it where there's just like these list of different application or these different products that are in here that we're able to go through and start prepping them for, saying, hey, based off the information that you provided, you'd be a great candidate for a secured loan. And we can put that, we'll have landing pages in there. Now, the last part, because we've still got about 15 minutes of time here, guys. So we're going to work on, we're going to think through our automation workflows. One second, I need to caffeinate here. Got it. We definitely want re-entry available on that. And we're going to call this Snap-on loan app. Now, the new trigger for this is going to be the form submitted. And we're going to come in here. We're going to say the form is funding application. And that's it. That I really don't need much. I wonder. We're going to get into that later. Okay, so where my brain went is with these filters, you can come in here and go, okay, intent type is empty, is not empty. Let's say positive yes, negative no. We're going to look at contains the phrase. So what I'm looking at is like over here, if we set our qualifiers right here and we coordinate them with our qualifiers here, what we can do, what you could do is you could actually set this up based off their response, meaning that if you came in here, you could go, okay, the workflow trigger is the form. One second. I need to actually save this before it'll register that. So, and we're going to go workflow trigger is form submitted. And we're going to add a condition. And we're going to say workflow trigger is, nope, that's not the right one. Close, close. We're going to go workflow contact is custom values one more time. Just all right, it's not giving us the option for the custom values. Let's see. Contact details. Here we go. And custom fields. Here's what I was looking for. Sorry about that. So let's go to monthly gross revenue, and we can put contains, is not, is empty. Basically, what we would be doing is creating different variations, how things happen, where the client goes based off of their form response, where now you could even have custom emails, or not even custom emails, but you would have different emails based off of how they respond. So if you get somebody who's highly qualified, you could come over here and say, okay, this one, We want to create an opportunity, and we put it in our sales pipeline, put it in the right stage. We may call this hot loan app or whatever, and then whatever we're going to end up naming it there. Put their full name, opportunity source, lead value, status. We'll leave that as open. And it's not going to work because we actually don't have a pipeline set up in here, but that's okay. That is something that we can work on. That's something that we'll fix on our side. Next thing we want to do is we want to send an email. So from name, this is going to be from. And if you ever need a quick thing, quick custom values, if you come up to account, shrink this up a little bit. Sorry. So the from name is going to be the location name from your values there. Your from email is, we're going to go from account. And when you go under account and email, this is all the stuff that you fill into your business settings in the back of your ProfitLifter account. So it's going to be pulling in all that information. And the subject we are going to use is your funding is close. I don't have any templates, so nothing to use there. And we would come in here, type out an email, click save. Subject. Funding is close. Or let's say you are pre-qualified. For business funding. Now, just a little word of the wise to you guys. For those of you guys who are in here being like, oh, I want to do this, I'm going to build it myself. Cool, go for it, have fun, have a blast. But if you send an email to somebody that says you are pre-qualified for business funding, the first thing I would do is spell that out for them, meaning that we put their first name. We're going to say, hey, blank. Congratulations. Based off of the information you submitted, you are pre-qualified for business funding. And then, like, from there, I would actually explain out what does pre-qualified mean. Because what you don't want to have happen is you don't want somebody to come in and go, oh, look, you told me I can get a loan. No, you're pre-qualified. You're not pre-approved. You're pre-qualified, meaning you're meeting all the, you meet the qualifications lenders are looking for based off of the information submitted. I like to keep referring back to them of based off the information you submitted, what you gave us, you're pre-qualified. That way, because when you get into the conversation, some people are going to be like, oh, that's not, I don't have it, blah, blah, blah. You know, people like we're all adults here. We've dealt with enough people to know that, you know, if somebody's really desperate for a business loan or funding or financing of any sort, and they see that, they're going to be like, yay, look, I got money. You want to explain to them what that actually looks like, and you're going to be pushing them to take the next step. Now, let's talk about automation from here, because what we want to do is we want to automate this with your system. So if you're somebody who is you're offering, let's say it's Fundability. I do know that they are actually working on Fundability being a part of the or being inside of Zapier, meaning that you can connect webhooks and everything for that to be able to create those create that information for them, or be able to submit that information. So with that, we're just going to say webhook. We're going to go with we're just going to add a webhook. Now, when you start working inside of Zapier and start working on some of the webhook stuff, I will tell you guys, it gets a little complex from there. But basically, what a webhook is it's a URL that sends the data from your CRM into another system. So, like, let's say this is, let's just call this the Fundability webhook. At this point, it's posting, meaning that it's going to take the information in your system, it's going to send it through that URL, and it's going to post it to whatever company has the other side of that webhook. So from here, if you're working with Zapier, Zapier would actually give you the URL that's going to connect it to Zapier and then send it to the other location, Fundability, whatever app you're working on with that. So for now, we don't have that information, and this is a demo. So we're just gonna keep that really simple. We're just gonna put that in there. But this is where you would automate this process. This is where you would automate anything to go into another software platform. So if you've got another platform that you're connecting things to, or you want to connect your Profit Lifter account to, your webhooks is by far the easiest way to do that. Now, where my brain kind of got tied up just a couple minutes ago while I was talking about this is we're actually working on an internal webhook system for you, meaning you would never even need to have a Zapier account, which is wonderful because it's going to save you a ton of money because Zapier gets really expensive really fast. But we have an app that we're currently using that we're testing to make sure that it's going to work for everybody for these webhooks, because for those of you guys who get more advanced inside of the building process, this is something that is going to be critical for you to automate your entire system and everything from there. But for right now, we're just going to leave that there. So basically, now when somebody comes in, you're going to it's going to trigger a form. We're going to parse them based off of the information. And like I said, guys, I'll go back through. Me and my team will go back through. We're going to get this all set up for you. And then Friday, before we jump into our path to scalability, I'm going to show you what we have built out for you inside of here, so that way you can see all the coolness and see everything that's happening. But basically, we want to send it there. So based off their response, we're either going to send them an email based off the condition and work on it from there. And then we do want to create the opportunity. We don't have that pipeline built in here, but that's okay. We'll work through that. We'll work through that process as well. The other thing we want to do, let's put in an internal notification. So we're going to put in an email notification, and we're going to make this come from the company, from your company, and we're just going to we're going to put your company email in here. And so from here, what you're going to do is you can either select all users to get it. You can put assigned users, meaning that if the contact is assigned to somebody specifically, it would just send it to them. Or you can send it to particular users. So like, if you're getting it, you would select it there. Now, if you want to have both, meaning that if you want to have both, if you want to have it go out to the assigned user and you want to have it to go out to yourself, you would come in here and basically just put. I'm just going to finish this up real quick. Full name, email, phone, and then we're going to put qualifiers and put monthly revenue. And that's going to be under our custom values here. Oh, that's weird. There we go. I have to go under contact custom values, monthly gross revenue. So we got personal credit score, business credit score, business credit score, and collateral. So here you go. Now you are going to receive an email with the assigned user will have this email. Just a quick note for those of you guys who haven't figured this out, if you ever want to use something that you already built, if you click these three buttons over here, you can go to copy, and we're just going to copy actions. If you copy all actions, it's going to select everything from there. But we're going to put another one in here, and the reason is because the first one we have is going to the assigned user. But this one may be like a particular user. So like if you're if you have a sales team and you want this to go to you and the person it's assigned to, that's where you would come in and create that duplicate and assign it to the actual assign it to you and have it go to the assigned user. But for now, that's a good starting point for us where you can get in here. The next thing that we want to do, we do want to add a contact tag. And this is one I'm going to have to guess on. I will get this cleaned up. Indoc start, I think something like that. Basically, we want to make it so that the indoctrination sequence starts with them as well, if and only if they haven't been through it. But that should be taken care of in your actual indoctrination sequence, where it doesn't put people through twice. And the reason is because like when you get into implementing your application process, that's where it's going to get more in depth, because now we're going to start looking at like what pages do we want this to show up on? Do we want to have this pop up in a pop up when somebody clicks apply? Like there's a lot of different things that we can do with this. So this is all stuff that we want to be thinking through. Is the implementing side, like how are we going to implement it into your website? Where's it going to go? When's somebody going to apply? How do we want to use it that way? But for now, and this is the other thing I was going to show you. Based off of this, like this information, all of this stuff, with all these different branches that we would end up creating, because again, if we look at this, we're going to have the form is, the funding application, and then we're going to have all of our conditions, where we're going to have the workflow, trigger is form submitted, and the monthly gross revenue is X or Y. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to say contact details, and just say owner credit score is or contains, and like I said, these I'll play around with this just to make sure. We'll play around with it, test it, make sure that it's all working. But let me show you what I'm doing here. And again, part of what I'm doing for right now is I'm setting it up, because as I'm going through this process, my brain's already going, oh, you need this, oh, we need to move it here. But I want you to see what it takes to build something like this. So we're gonna put is the whatever. But now you can see that naming them like this makes it where we can see them. We can see them across here. Now, once I've built my first workflow of what I want to have happen here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up in here and I'm going to copy all actions from here. So we're going to hit paste, and all you have to do is copy all from here, and then just click where it says copy here, and that's really the entire process. And then you would go through, change your webhooks, change your emails, anything like that that you would need to do, you would do that. If if you're submitting, and the reason, so, okay, sorry, brain's going, let's take a step back. So what we want to, the reason that I want this webhook down here instead of up at the top is because some of these are not, they're not going to qualify for some of these options. And so like if somebody doesn't qualify for it, like I'm going to delete that action from there because I don't want to submit it. I don't want to submit the loan because there is no loan. So they're not qualified. They're at that point, you're really going to be pitching them on the entire system, building their fundability, blah, 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 moving them that direction. So that's what our automation is. Man, I have already gone over my time. You guys are cutting into my lunch break now, but that's all right. I love you and I'm here for you. So let's go over this last little piece here because I want to show you how we want to do this. So what do I have popping up there? Weird. Okay. So last thing we're going to do here is we're going to put this as yes revenue financing. Actually, we're going to say yes fully sorry, I deleted that when I wasn't supposed to. Yes fully, I'm going to call it full prequal. This one, we're going to call it yes CHL prequal. We're going to make that all one word just because easier to read while we're in here. Next one, we want to do yes collateral. So now we've got our revenue financing, we've got credit line. This will basically be, so if they're approved for everything, this will have everything. If it's just the credit line hybrid, it's going to have information for if somebody's qualified just based on a credit approval. We need this will be yes for cash flow, and then we're gonna say yes for yes cash flow prequel. We're just going to call it cash prequel. Confirm cash. So you see how having all of these different options, what it's going to do is you're going to have different landing pages with different information based off of just basically based off of what they fill out on that form. Because when we're done, all of these are going to have different, they're all going to have their own special URLs at that point. And we're going to put this no, and we're going to just call this fundability pitch. Just call it no dash fundability. So based off of this, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 landing pages. 5 landing pages. First one's going to be if they're fully pre-qualified, talking about SBA, collateral, cash flow, blah, blah, blah. Second one is going to be like if they're credit qualified only. We're going to call this credit prequal just in case, excuse me, just in case there are some other products that you have available that you would like to add to that page. You could do it. You could do it there. We're going to say yes collateral, yes cash flow. And again, each of these pages will build out so that they all have their own special landing page that is specific to the actual products that they have. And then if they don't, at that point, I'm probably actually just going to set it up to send them into the fundability demo right then and there, just showing them like how to build fundability, how to get them to that point that they can qualify for financing, because that's what we want to do. So, all right, guys, this is you guys. This ton of stuff that to build out for you guys. I will, like I said, Friday when I'm live, I will come back and show you our progress, what it looks like on what it's looking like on the landing pages, how it's looking for all the automations, just let you see it kind of put a little more put together and follow along on the journey as we're going through this. So, but that's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to go eat some lunch. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Hope to see you again on Friday.